Hello and welcome to a quick tutorial on how to set up my assets, most commonly wing and tails. However, I'll be using a similar process for any other body assets I might make in the future. We're going to jump right into this. So the first thing you want to do is import any package that you are wanting to use. For this example, we will be using my Monster Fluffy Tail and Monster Fluffy Wing assets that I just released. Link in description if you want to buy them. Once you import my assets, you should now have a folder called Kai's Assets. Double click it to open. Since I have both imported, I'll have two folders here, but if you just import one, you'll have one folder all labeled with the asset you imported. For this demonstration, we'll be mostly using the Monster Fluffy Wing asset. So you double click the folder, so called Monster Fluffy Wings, to open it. And for any of my assets, you want to use the prefab, not the FBX, which is this one over here, the prefab. You can tell which one is which by one, the prefab will have like the parent constraint on it. In the preview, you can also see that it has the default material, and down here at the bottom, it says mfwings.prefab. If you click on the FBX, it says mfwings.fbx because that's the file type. And there's no materials added onto this one. It's just rig settings. The reason you want to choose the prefab is because this will have all the things added to it as well as the fizz bones already set up for you, and you will not have to add them manually. Can you? Yes, but I'm not going to go through that here. This is just how to set them up how I have it meant to set up. Once you've located your prefab, drag and drop it onto the base root of your avatar. Do not put it under the skeleton, your hips, or the bone you want it to be connected to. Otherwise, the animations will not work. Just don't put it under anything else except for the base root of the avatar. From here, you can position the wings however you so desire. These are already pre-positioned for the Nova Beast specifically, but you can either reposition them from the root, or you can open it up and find wing root L and wing root R, and you can move them separately. You can also scale them from here if you wish. This is the first thing you want to do is the positioning. Do not wait till after to do it. Once you have your wings in the position that you like, you're going to go ahead and click on the root, the MF wings. And here you'll see a parent constraint. This is the constraint that will attach it to the part of your avatar you want it attached to. For wings, this is going to be your chest bone. So go ahead and open up your armature till you find your chest, and then click and drag it into the source transform. And then click activate. And that little check mark should click after you click activate. And you'll notice if you go to try to move your wings after this, you cannot because they are bound to your chest bone. And yeah, I am aware. Okay, there we go. But see, if we move your chest bone, long torso Nova, but the wings will move with it. Now for specifically these wings, I have also included an extra parent constraint. Just due to the fact that these wings have a longer bit that attaches lower on the back. So to find that one, we will go ahead and open the armature for the wings specifically, and open it all the way till you see wing root underscore L.001. This is what we're looking for, and notice how there's another parent constraint over here. Since these ones are lower on the back, we are going to use our spine bone. So drag in there and click activate. There's two of these for each side, so go ahead and do that. Click activate. And now those should be attached. If we move the spine, that also moves that. And if we move the chest, notice how those ones stay attached there. After that, we are fully done with attaching it to the body. However, now we have to set up the animations. In order to set up the animations, we need to have one specific package installed that I use. You don't need it. You can copy everything over manually if you like, or set up the puppets and toggles manually. However, I know how much you guys hate doing any form of work, so install the Avatar 3.0 Manager through your SDK. Once you have the 3.0 manager installed, you should be able to access it by going to the very top up here, click VR Labs, and then Avatar 3.0 Manager. This window will pop up, and in the section where it says Avatar, you are going to drag and drop in your avatar. From here, you will see a lot of options pop up. The only ones we will need from this menu is the FX. Your controller that your avatar is using should already be in there. If not, you'll have to apply that. Scroll all the way down, and you will see a button called Add Controller to Merge. And then you will drag in the FX layer that I provided with the asset. For this is MFW FX. And it'll tell you all the parameters that get added with it, and then you can either merge on current or merge on copy. Merge on copy will create a duplicate parameter, or not parameter, FX, and will leave your current one untouched in case anything happens. Merge on current will do as it says, merge everything on the current FX layer. I personally tend to just click merge on current, otherwise I'd have like a gajillion FX layers. But then you go ahead and click that. All right, the next thing you're going to want to do is click on the three little lines here. If you hover over it, it says parameters. That is what we need next. Just as with the FX, it should have it in here. If not, you'll have to drag it in. But it'll have a list of all your parameters. And the next thing is there'll be a thing here saying parameters to copy. And just like with the FX, you'll take the parameters that I supply with this and drag it into that section and click copy. After you do all that, everything should be copied over and you won't have to do any technical stuff. You can go ahead and close this menu. The last part is you actually have to add the stuff to the menu. Wherever it is you want it, you can put it wherever. You can locate your menus by clicking on your avatar's base, and in your avatar descriptor, down here where it says expressions and then menu. This is where your base menu is. You can put it in here or wherever you wish to be able to find it in order to control the things you're looking for. For specifically this, I created my own submenu for all of this, where I have the toggles set up. And in order to do this, all you do is click the little, so for example, we need to say we need to set up the toggles for the spikes on the wings. You'd click the plus button, and then a new control will pop up. Say, call it whatever you like. I'll do wing spikes. And then it'll be a toggle. And then you need to set the parameter that we added. And for this, it is wing spikes. And that's it. We'll do the same for the wing claw, like the big claw on the wing here. Set to toggle, and then we'll set it to wing claw. And you're all done, just like that. You can, of course, set it to whatever you like. However, that is just for the toggles. I have the control for the wing is a little set up a little differently. So we'll click plus, name it whatever we want. We're going to do wing control or wing puppet. And instead of setting it to a toggle, we're going to set it to a 2-axis puppet. So that should say 2-axis puppet there. And for the parameter, we're actually going to say none. But down here where it says horizontal and horizontal and vertical, we're going to set that to wings H for horizontal and wings V for vertical. And that should be the entirety of your puppet setup. We are also going to quickly go through it for the monster fluffy tail. Just because there's really nothing different about it except for the bones you use. So, Kai's assets, monster fluffy tail, locate the prefab. See, it's got the colors, parent constraint, not the FBX, the prefab. Drag it and drop it. Again, you can size it however you want. It is fit for the Nova Beast by default. And there's nothing you have to do with the armature here, so leave that alone. But instead of putting the chest in here or the spine or anything, we are going to drag and drop the hips in here because that is the bone you want it to be connected to. And click activate. Good job. Now it should be connected to the hips. Look at that! It's connected to the hips. So again, VR Labs 3.0 Manager. Drag in your avatar. And then FX, scroll down. Add controller to merge. FX has the parameters and toggles. Merge on current or merge on copy, whichever you prefer. Now we go to the parameters. Go down. MFT parameters. Copy parameters. Once you do that, close that. All done, right? And then now we got to find our menus. We go in here, menus. It'll pop up. That's our menus, but we're going to put it under the control menu. We got to add our tail puppet first. So we do that. And we go tail control or tail puppet. I spelled that wrong. There. Yep, and it's set to 2-axis puppet, no parameter. And we're going to set it to tail H and tail V. And just like with the wings, this tail comes with a few toggles, and I'm going to put them in the same menu as the wings. And so we're going to add a toggle, because that's what it needs to be, toggle. And then we're going to do tail spikes. And we're going to set the parameter to, where is it? Tail spikes, just like that. And then we're going to do tail top fluff. And then the type is set to toggle, and then we go to tail top fluff. Just like that, everything should be fully set up and we shouldn't have any issues. In order to check this, if you don't want to test it in game yet, you can also add Gesture Manager to your project. You'll go to Tools, Gesture Manager, and it'll import it into your scene. In order to activate it, you click on Gesture Manager and click enter play mode. Once you're in play mode, it'll instantly boot you into the game. Just click over here to the scene button, and you'll instantly know if it's working because your wings will go into a rest position, as they are supposed to. Use your menus to navigate where you put your puppets or your toggles, and we can test them out. Here are mine. So we got the wing puppet. You click on it, and notice how the wings are all working now. Just like that. And then we test the tail. And just like that, the tail's working perfectly. Now we want to go test the toggles. We'll start with the tail. So the top fluff on the tail, that's working. The spikes, working. And the claw, the big wing tongue claw, that works. And the spikes work. Just like that, everything is fully set up and should be working on your avatar. Of course, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me or join my Discord server for help. We are always willing to assist if you are having any issues. That's all for today. Bye, guys!